Yeah, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the National Football League, has confirmed the NFL is seriously discussing, quote, with its partners. That means the owners, the other owners, and that means the TV networks, pushing the schedule to 18 games effective next year. And what they're going to do is, if it gets approved, 18 regular season games. They'll reduce preseason to just 2 games and maybe a controlled scrimmage. They're going to have to negotiate through the union. The union says if we're going to 18, which will mean more pay, if we're going to 18, we want a second bye week. That impacts the playoffs. The NFL is now talking about pushing the Super Bowl back to President's Day.
Wow.
We'd go right from the Super Bowl to baseball spring training probably the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I always thought 18 games was on the horizon. I just questioned just about the wear and tear factor on players' bodies.
Yeah, well, 18 makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I remember having season tickets to the Chargers, and you were forced to buy 2 preseason games at home. You had to buy them, and it was not worth the money. So good for them going to 18-2. But isn't this funny how all the sports, we got World Series drifting towards Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Now we've got the Super Bowl going towards President's Day.
Remember, basketball goes into the end of June, and hockey almost gets to July 4th.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, remember when the Super Bowl used to be like just right after New Year's?
I remember when the championship game was in December back in the day. Of course, that was in the era of black and white TV, and I was a kid.
Do you think the NFL would ever start their season earlier, like maybe the same weekend college football does?
It's one of the ideas, and I've never understood why you wouldn't do it. Granted, would it impact college football? Maybe to a degree, but you play your games on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
Or your first game is on Thursday, as it always is. You just play it on Thursday, and then you roll into Labor Day weekend. Everybody's home. Why wouldn't you want that captured audience? I'm surprised they haven't done it, but maybe they will do this. Second NFL question. Roger Goodell says we've done 2 years with this experiment in OTA workouts and in preseason training camps, the Guardian cap shells on the helmet. It has been a success. The survey shows 51% less concussions in preseason practices and OTAs in a 2-year span. They look weird. They protect the players. They have now sanctioned players will be allowed to wear the Guardian caps in the regular season. Some of the players, notably linemen who are involved in heavy contact all the time, linemen are saying they're going to do it. Have not heard a quarterback speak out about it. I don't know about the divas, the wide receivers, whether they think that's not sexy to wear that. But boy, if it's safety, and they've got the research, it shows more than 51% less concussions with these shells. And we know, obviously, the force of contacts and tackles in regular season games. So, John, what do you think about that?
Love it. Anything about safety, I think, is great. I'm kind of wondering, though, when I've seen those caps over the helmet, they cover the logo on the helmets. Yes. So I imagine they'll make them in the colors scheme with the logos. That could be interesting. But do you remember, like maybe 10 years ago, there was a pitcher for the Padres that had a padded baseball hat because he didn't want to get hit by a line drive to the head. We haven't seen any of that in baseball lately.
And guys are taking line drives over different parts of their body. You're correct. I think the last pitcher that I know of the Padres got badly hurt, I think it was a reliever, Bryce Florio, took a line drive in the head. But there have been other players. And Chris Young, the big 6'8" pitcher, I think he took one that broke his nose. And we've had some significant concussions from line drives back to the box.
Right.
So nobody has done anything that radical.
Well, I think this is great. I mean, it works for the kids. It's scientifically proven. It's going to look a little weird, but yeah, I think maybe like a wide receiver might not want to wear one. I mean, probably because it might throw off their balance. But if you're like a lineman, a linebacker, a running back, why not?
It's almost like super styrofoam.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 2 extra pounds. We're not talking about the weight of shoulder pads.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it, and I'll be interested to see what happens as we come through this preseason to see if we get to Labor Day weekend and a lot of players start to wear it, because it's right there, and concussions are critical in terms of long-term health.
I think NFL players are going to start to look like the great Kazoo from the Flintstones. Remember him?
Yeah.
He had that big helmet. So, yeah, this will be cool. I think it's a good thing.
Oh, we go from there. Let's go to college football. Oh, this is